Naimbag gabi, masantos sa labi si kayo amin. Maayong gabi sa Tibuok, Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, up to Sabah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala barakatuh. Ako po si Eric Espina at ito ang inyong Republika. Habang nag-uusap po tayo, tuloy pa rin po ang gera, kung matatawag natin, sa Zamboanga. At mukhang imbis na maibsan ang gulo doon, ay parang lumalawak na po. Dahil may ibang mga lugar na nadadamay sa mukhang lumalaking kaguluhan dito po sa Southern Mindanao. Could this problem, could this siege have been avoided? May paraan ba sana na hindi natuloy itong pagpasok ng MNLF sa Zamboanga City? Bakit nagkaroon ng ganitong kaganapan? Maraming mga katanungan na pumapasok sa ating isipan na kailangan nating malaman at masagot. Dahil hindi ho madali na ang isang bayan o isang lungsod sa ating bansa, lalo sa isang lugar na tinatawag nating promised land, ay ngayon ay nasa pangunahing mga pahayagan ng ating bansa, lalo sa ibang mga parte ng mundo. It doesn't smell nice, so to speak. Kaya sa gabing ito, makakausap po natin, and we're very fortunate to have Sultan Ferdowsi Abbas of the Bangsamoro Party. And hindi po natin makakalimutan, of course, si Eric San Juan. He's a political analyst and he writes for the paper Opinion. Papakita lang natin itong papel niya. O yan, Opinion. Nagtataka ako dito, sino itong awol, no? Mamaya, alamin po natin, sino itong awol, ano? Napakaganda nitong papel na ito. And later on, about 15 minutes there, so we're going to talk to Attorney Manuel Fontanilla, the spokesman of the MNLF. Good evening, gentlemen, to both of you, and welcome to Republika.
Good evening. Mabuhay ka. Ito kayo.
Okay. Unang-una, Sultan Abbas, could this siege, could these events, could it have been foreseen and could it have been avoided?
I believe so, but there would be, preceding events that the government should have taken into consideration.
Yes.
And this precisely points to the present negotiations between the government and the More Islamic Liberation Front. And it was considered an insult by the MNLF because the negotiations between the MNLF and the Philippine government were still ongoing. So to them, it was a betrayal.
Okay.
And since that time, Nurulaji Miswari has been going around Mindanao and rallying and inviting new recruits.
Okay.
And these are his new people, recruits. And as usual, saber wrestling and assailing the government and pointing out that there has been a betrayal by the government of the MNLF.
Okay.
And had the government looked at this more intently and had given some serious thought to it, disregarding the present stature of Miswari, but the issues he raised, then perhaps this would have been averted. Because one version is that the people who went to Zamboanga City were there to attend the peace rally. And suddenly...
They were arrested?
No, there was a firefight. And one version is that when the group coming from Basilan on board the yung mga bintas, when they were docking at the shores of Zamboanga, they were fired at by the Navy. And I think this was also understandable on the part of the Navy because I think they have already received reports and instructions from the Philippine government to stop this, the robo wrestling of Miswari, which he has been doing, and reiterate again his call for rebellion and insurrection.
The government no longer takes Nur Miswari seriously. Was that the reason why they just put him aside and decided to go ahead and open a new door under the term inclusive peace to talk to the MILF, and by doing so, sabi nga nila doon sa source ko sa Malacanang, when Razak of Malaysia was here, they have a saying in Malaysia, when a banana tree has given off its fruit, in their country they cut it off. So now this is the reason why the focus is on MILF.
And it's precisely surprising and very, very rattling that this president failed to understand the situation when he is the son of a former president, the son of President Cory Aquino.
Okay.
Cory Aquino won and was voted by the people not because of her, but because of the issues she raised.
Correct.
And so, regardless of the stature of Ms. Wari, if the issues raised by this man are valid,
Are legitimate, yes.
yes, then there should be serious thought on these matters. And that is what they failed to analyze.
I'll put it another way. If President Aquino or those in the office of the Presidential Advisor for the Peace Process knew and were aware that Ms. Wari was not a spent force, would he have been taken seriously?
Well, as I said, it's the issues that should be taken seriously. Because Ms. Wari's or Aquino's, they come and go.
Correct.
But the issues, they go on.
Could it
They
be-
are immutable, you know?
I agree with you. Could it be possible that that is the way they appreciate these groups, MNLF and MILF, looking at the capacity for troublemaking and who's backing them up? Is that the way they appreciate individuals?
Actually, it's very, very short-sighted.
Yes.
Now, as far as the present Philippine government and MILF negotiations are concerned, we have actually raised many objections to this.
Okay.
We have stated that it's erroneous, it's pernicious, it's misleading, it's unconstitutional, and there's misrepresentations by Attorney Leonen. And this does not represent the framework agreement, the aspirations of the Bangsamoro. And furthermore, the MILF does not represent the Bangsamoro, and the ideologues of the MILF were puppets of President Marcos.
You know, Sultan Abbas, you are one of the very, very, very few who have come out to state this. Others usually are very mum about talking in this manner, no? And you are very direct about and open about the facts. And this is the reason why I'm very glad that you are here. Because later on, I'll be asking you about, you know, your views and your opinions regarding this framework which the government has entered into. No? We have not yet finished with the MNLF. Now we're opening another peace process. That's why I called the program a Bigamous peace process. No? Because here, it is like, you know, we have entered into a marriage. We have sent out the invitations.
Correct.
People are expecting us to get married. And all of a sudden, I say, I think your sister is prettier, so I think I will marry your sister. I'm trying to simplify this, no, for the public, but
If I may add
Yes.
the word bigamous,
yeah,
while it would be up to some,
yeah,
to me it's a bit less.
yes,
Because in bigamous relationships,
yes.
there is passion.
Okay.
But there's no passion here.
That's a good one.
There's no passion here between the president and the MILF or the president and the MNLF. You know, the reason which we have always believed
Yes.
that Malacanang or the government or the president insist on continuing negotiations, you know.
Yes.
In 1987, President Aquino said
Yeah.
99% of the triple agreement has already been implemented.
Yes.
Negotiations are completed, but up to now, they're still negotiating. Because of the huge sum of money allotted to the office of the president as this intelligence fund, I think you should also look into
Correct,
this.
correct.
You know, if they're going after the senators for this pork, they should also ask the
Look at
president
this, no?
to come up with an accounting on how much money has been spent on these so-called intelligence funds.
Correct.
Before I go to Eric, is it possible we're expecting too much from this president? I'm just asking. Sultan, I'm just asking. Are we really expecting, or this is beyond his
Comprehension.
You know,
ability?
You know, there was a man who stood up
Okay.
and he said, I will now assume the leadership among you.
Okay.
And the people asked him, do you have the qualities and the qualifications to be leader?
Yes.
Can we realize our expectations of you?
Yeah.
And he said, not of me,
Ah.
but of the position I will occupy.
That's good.
So our expectations of President
Leadership.
Aquino is not of Aquino the man, but of Aquino the president of the position he occupies. And while he may be trying everything, doing the best he can,
Okay.
and unfortunately the best he can is not just enough,
Not enough.
right?
So you are correct to say failed. You mentioned, I like the word
I
you
will
used
not
to
say
failed.
failed because his term is not yet over.
Yes, but for this effort,
Well, we'll give him A for his effort.
okay, but
As far as his
Outcome.
final grade, well, let's wait and see.
okay. Tayo. The president was there. He was there for several days. He said in the newspaper, I'm the commander-in-chief. In the final analysis, the buck stops with me. So this is like FDR, Delano Roosevelt, taking control of World War II, or Manuel Quezon taking over MacArthur and saying, I'm the president, I'll take over Bataan and Corregidor.
Was he really there during that time? That he's saying that he was there for how many days? 8 days? 10 days?
There are pictures that came out on the front
Well,
page.
It's plain and simple common sense to kayo
Oh,
that you have a big operation of the press office.
okay.
You can call any radio station, especially some Zamboanga stations,
Yes.
TV, radio, newspapers,
Okay.
to talk. But he was not there.
Wala siya dun.
He was not there.
Where was he?
It's up to
Is this the reason why your newspaper opinion says awol?
Of course. We're sure of that he was not there.
Where was he?
Well, let's give the president the benefit of the doubt that,
That he was there.
that he was really there.
Okay. Assuming he was there.
Then the generals who were there
Yeah.
should be fired because they placed the chief executive in harm's way.
Correct.
Okay.
They should not have done that.
But
you
he
know,
was-
you can never put the President of the United States of America in harm's way. No matter how he insists. They should not have. Because the President, like the flag, is the symbol of the Republic.
But what if your president wants to play general?
Well, then the generals should tell him, we'll buy toys for you, Mr. President. You can play in the palace.
He was only there when the drones were moving around. The reconnaissance drones.
Yeah,
They're
but-
not killer drones, actually.
Well, I also received a text similar to that when the Americans had their drones flying, what the drones could see was on his laptop, and he was enjoying the view. Is that correct, Tokayo? I don't know. Kindly correct me if I'm
I'm
wrong.
not sure about that yet, but
He
the
was
problem
enjoying the
is
view on his
the next
laptop.
day he wasn't there anymore.
He left already.
It's up to the community to tell the truth about these things.
But what is really wrong to say that I went back to Malacanang, assume my position as president because
He's not even in Malacanang.
As head of
He was not even in Malacanang.
where was he? Huh?
Remember, it happened in the past, even during the time that there was a Luneta hostage taking.
Yes.
During calamities like Bagyo and so many other things. Then suddenly he'll be there.
Was he not in Bahay Pangarap or
No, he's not in Malacanang.
he was in Times Street? Those are the only options. Or the other is he was in Baguio.
No.
He was not in Baguio. So